Is Jungkook officially entering the League of Legends? The first solo K-pop artist to grace the cover of Rolling Stone UK, a coincidence, or a declaration of a new global era? Is this merely a magazine cover, or is the world witnessing a quiet but irreversible shift in global music history? When the December 2025 edition of Rolling Stone revealed its cover star, the question erupted instantly across social media timelines, fan forums, and industry circles alike. Not whispered, not cautiously suggested, but shouted in disbelief and awe, has Jungkook officially crossed the invisible lines separating idols from legends? On December 16, 2025, confirmation arrived from Jakarta to London, from Seoul to Tokyo, carrying a weight far heavier than glossy paper and bold typography. Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, became the first solo K-pop artist ever to appear on the cover of Rolling Stone UK. Not alongside a group, not as a cultural footnote, but alone, centered, framed as a singular global force. And suddenly, the industry found itself forced to confront an uncomfortable, thrilling question. If this is not the moment Jungkook transcends the category of idol, then what is? The announcement did not arrive quietly. A behind-the-scenes video, posted by the fan account at Jungkook on December 15th, detonated across X, formerly Twitter, surpassing 57,000 views in mere hours. 45 seconds. That was all it took. 45 seconds of Jungkook moving between leather jackets and loose shirts, tattoos exposed without apology, singing into a microphone not as a boy band member, but as a man who understands the weight of the gaze fixed upon him. The caption was simple, almost incoherent in its excitement. OMG GG Jungkook? And yet, it captured the collective shock better than any press release ever could. What audiences saw in that footage was not just style or charisma. They saw ease, control. An artist no longer proving himself, but inhabiting his place. Jungkook did not perform for the camera. He commanded it. The camera followed. This Rolling Stone project was no ordinary editorial. It was a synchronized global release spanning 8 international editions, including the United Kingdom, Japan, Korea, India, France, Brazil, the Philippines, and China. A rare, carefully curated moment in which Rolling Stone chose one artist to anchor a transnational narrative. For the UK edition in particular, the significance was historic. Never before had a solo K-pop artist been granted that cover. Not as an experiment, not as a trend piece, but as the central figure of a December issue, a month traditionally reserved for artists deemed definitive of an era. The print edition, released on December 8, 2025, arrived in 3 exclusive variants for the UK, Japan, and Korea. Each cover told a slightly different story, yet all shared the same conclusion. The golden magne had evolved. The youthful prodigy had sharpened into a powerhouse. And the industry, whether ready or not, was being asked to update its language. I end the exclusive interview accompanying the feature, Jungkook's only solo interview of the year. He spoke with a clarity that startled even longtime observers. "I always chase change," he said, as quoted in the Rolling Stone UK preview. It was a short sentence, but one that echoed with intention. Change, in Jungkook's world, is not disruption for its own sake. It is progression. It is refusal to stagnate within labels imposed by others. Since his solo debut album Golden in 2023, Jungkook has operated with a strategic patience that now appears almost prophetic. Songs like 7 and Standing Next to You did more than dominate charts. They recalibrated expectations. These were not crossover attempts diluted for Western palates. They were confident, genre-fluid statements that assumed global relevance rather than pleading for it. Big Hit Music, Jungkook's agency, confirmed the magnitude of the moment through an official statement reported by Korea Jungong Daily. Jungkook, they announced, had been selected as the first artist to front a Rolling Stone international cover project simultaneously spanning the Korean, British, and Japanese editions. Within hours, the Japanese print version sold out on Amazon Japan, claiming the top spot in the entertainment category. The phrase "sold out king" began trending once again, but this time it felt less like fandom exaggeration and more like statistical reality. The reaction online was immediate and emotional. On X, comments flooded beneath the viral behind-the-scenes clip. "Well, his live," wrote at Arangoe, trailing off as if words themselves had failed. Jungkook Yenlevi posted at nameroad123, capturing the sense that this moment was unfolding in real time, impossible to pause or rewind. Instagram accounts like @Kokodive shared the covers with captions that read less like updates and more like victory cries. On Reddit, discussions spiraled into thousands of comments analyzing everything from lighting choices to the symbolism of Jungkook's tattoo designs. But beneath the noise lay a deeper, more consequential debate. Does this cover signify personal success? Or does it mark a structural shift in how Western media perceives K-pop artists as individuals rather than collective phenomena? For years, the industry has been comfortable celebrating groups while hesitating to canonize solo Asian artists as enduring cultural icons. Rolling Stone UK's decision appears to challenge that hesitation head-on. Timing, as always, is everything. This milestone arrives as BTS prepares for a highly anticipated group comeback in 2026 following their military hiatus. Jungkook himself had only recently completed his mandatory service. For many artists, such a transition period might be marked by caution, by slow re-entry. Jungkook chose the opposite. He stepped forward, not loudly, but unmistakably, positioning himself not as a returning idol, but as a generational figure whose momentum had never truly paused. And so the question returns, sharper now, harder to dismiss. Is Jungkook still merely an idol, defined by the system that launched him? Or has he crossed into the realm occupied by artists whose names no longer require qualifiers, whose influence reshapes markets rather than follows them? Rolling Stone UK did not explicitly answer that question. It did something far more powerful. It framed Jungkook as someone worthy of being asked. As copies of the magazine continue to circulate through bookstores and mailboxes worldwide, one truth becomes increasingly difficult to deny. This was not an accident. This was not a courtesy nod to fandom power. This was a calculated editorial decision reflecting a broader acknowledgement. The center of global pop culture is no longer fixed. It moves. And right now, its gravity pulls unmistakably toward Jungkook, this the moment history will look back on and say, this is when the conversation changed? Or is it merely the first chapter of a legacy still unfolding, one that will force the industry to redefine what legend truly means in the 21st century? The cover does not answer these questions, but it ensures that no one can stop asking them. The debate refuses to cool, and perhaps that is precisely the point. Because the more the industry tries to frame this Rolling Stone UK cover as a singular achievement, the louder the underlying question grows. Why does it feel different this time? And why does it feel permanent? When Rolling Stone places an artist on its cover, it is never merely documenting popularity. The magazine has long functioned as a gatekeeper of cultural legitimacy, a publication that does not simply reflect trends, but codifies them. From rock icons to pop disruptors, its covers have historically acted as